Greetings, nerds, and happy post-Halloween. And speaking of Halloween, I hope you nerds enjoyed your Halloween. The reason why I'm doing this intro right now is because, well, I'm going to be spending time with my grandmother, me and my sister. So last night, I chose to draw myself as a horror character to celebrate Halloween. And it's crazy that the fact that we only got 2 more months until 2023. We officially made it to the month of November. I'm still looking forward to 2023. There's going to be some things that are going to remain the same. There's going to be some things that are going to really change. Instead of drawing yourself as a famous cartoon style from like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or Disney Channel, or any other kids-based channel, I decided to, hey, find a way to celebrate Halloween in a unique way. And it's actually been a while since I last drew myself as something. So without any further ado, let's get to the drawing.
So there's a few horror movies that inspired me to make my own version of a horror character, you know, making myself a horror character. Orphan, Carrie, and I guess Sleepaway Camp, those 3 movies pretty much inspired me to make my own horror character, which is myself, Jules Nerdy. And it seems like those 3 horror movies have to do with the main character being an introvert and very shy. They're not very good at, socializing to others, and people would just be disrespectful to that main character. Basically bullying or harassing that main character, and that main character would just get completely fed up, and that main character just can't take it anymore and decided to start punishing these people, taking them out, killing them one by one. It has to do with the shy and introverted character just being pushed around like a rag doll, and eventually that these main characters would just get that retaliation. And there's another horror movie that inspired me to make my own version of the horror character again. Well, Chucky, any of the Child's Play films and the Chucky films, and I am a huge fan of Chucky. I actually, for Halloween this year, I checked out a kill count video of Chucky. If you're not familiar with Kill Count is a series on the Did Meet YouTube channel where James would review the movies. Well, he wouldn't really review the movies, he would just go through horror movies, he would go through the deaths and talk about these horror movies. So he would pick some deaths that are really interesting to him and some that are just completely weak. And he does that in every horror movie he would talk about and go through. So yeah, it's a really good channel, a YouTube channel, if you're a huge horror fanatic. I'm not a huge horror fan, so actually, but Chucky is my favorite horror character. Sorry, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, any other infamous horror characters, Ghostface. There's a few Chucky films that have to do with Chucky having those stitches, scars, and staples all over his face. I feel like that version of Chucky is a lot more terrifying than him just having a clean, pretty face and the freckled face, Yeah, it's, in my opinion, the Chucky with all those stitches all over his face, I just think it's bad ASS. Well, I'll say it. I don't care anymore. I just think that version of Chucky is just absolutely badass. And quite frankly, it was my idea to add the stitches on my face if I was a horror character, because, Chucky pretty much inspired me to make myself this way, I guess. I don't really celebrate Halloween like I used to anymore. Like when I was a kid and when I reached my teens, I stopped going trick-or-treating since 2017, so it's been around 5 years since I quit trick-or-treating because I'm getting old and I don't know, I just feel, I guess I'm fully mature enough to not trick-or-treat anymore. So the last time I trick-or-treated was back in 2016 on Halloween. I ended up getting hundreds of candy in one bag, and I did eat most of the candy up because I got a really atrocious sweet tooth, and I still got that atrocious sweet tooth to this day. And I actually got some candy that I'm destroying right now. Yeah, I really can't help it. You know, some people won't always celebrate certain holidays because, well, it's the freedom. People got the freedom to do whatever they want. If they want to celebrate, if they want to do this, they could do that. If they don't want to, then they could just ignore it or just let it go. I'm gonna have some pumpkin pie this week as like a late Halloween treat, like a special treat.
Okay, nerds, here's the finished drawing of me as the horror character, I wanted to make myself look like a true horror character because we got the stitches all over my face, which is inspired by famous horror character Chucky, that infamous doll that slaughters a bunch of people with a knife and other weapons, but mostly a knife. So we got the stab wounds on my shirt, and I did include the blood, just to give it that eerie feel, you know, that Halloween feel. These are blood stains. The reason why they look purple is because, well, if you mix red and blue together, you get that purple color. Well, violet, which is part of the color wheel. Violet, it's a fancier word for purple. I guess this is like dry blood. I feel like I should have added some blood for my socks. I don't want to make myself too petrifying. I mean, I already am petrifying. I guess this is how it feels to be bullied if you're a nerd, and if a person is going through the bullying at school or on the internet, you know, online, then they would do self-harm, and this completely makes sense by just cutting yourself, stabbing yourself. Hope I don't get in trouble on YouTube. This is just a drawing, okay? So it's not like a real life live action stuff that I'm really showing. It's just a drawing. And this pen that I'm holding, this pen is actually a gun that looks like a pen, and pen guns are really a thing. You'll find them online, so it makes sense for me to have a pen gun and not a regular pen because, well, I obviously draw a lot with markers, crayons, color pencils, oil pastels, and even pens. And whenever I get bullied, I would just shoot people that choose to bully me because I've had enough and I'm just too fed up. Hey, imagine if I was a real horror character. I think that would be fantastic. Here's the finished drawing of me as a horror character. So that is going to be the end of this video. Stay tuned for more content, and I hope this video was quite enjoyable to watch.
Feel free to subscribe to this channel. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, and also, feel free to follow my Facebook page. And thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time.